everyone! Today I will be showing you how to make two similar but different Valentine's Day cards. I got the idea from watching Amy on Prairie Paper and Ink make similar cards on her channel, which I will have down below. I started off by cutting down some watercolor cardstock to 5x7. Once the cardstock was cut down, I picked out two colors of Tim Holtz Distress inks that would work for a boy and then two that would work for a girl. For the boys card, I used the cracked Pistachio and Mermaid Lagoon. I started with the lightest, which is cracked Pistachio, and worked my way down the cardstock. When I got part way down, I then added the darker color, which was Mermaid Lagoon. Following both colors being added, I worked with the lighter blending pad to blend the colors together and then set this piece aside. On the girl cardstock, I used some abandoned coral and candied apple. I started by using abandoned coral and again working my way down the cardstock. When I got halfway down, I then added the candied apple. After both colors were added, I worked at blending them together. Following both cardstocks being completed, I laid them down on my cutting mat and used a spray bottle to add some water splatter. When spraying the water, I realized I was getting more than just the cardstock wet. I used a small hand towel to cover up the back so the water would only go on the cardstock and not everywhere else. I let the water sit on the cardstock for 30 seconds and then used a Kleenex to pick up the excess. You could also use a small hand towel or a paper towel, whatever works for you. When using the Kleenex, I accidentally got some of the ink from the girl's card onto the boy one, and I didn't realize until a little bit later, but I found a way to save it and not throw it out. Next, I ran both pieces of cardstock through my Big Shot machine with my heart embossing folder. After both pieces were embossed, I lined up the size of the hearts on the cardstock to see which size I liked better. I decided to use the biggest heart from the Spellbinders hearts die since it looked the best on the front of the card. I ran the heart through on 2 pieces of white cardstock since I wanted them to be plain and not take away from the background. I don't right now, but if I had some vellum in my stash, then I would have definitely used some of it because it's more transparent and doesn't take away from the background. But the white cardstock worked just fine for what I was doing. Following the hearts being completed, I placed them on the card and found out where I wanted them to go. This is where I noticed that I got some ink from the other background onto this blue one. I decided to raise the heart on this one to help cover it up so you wouldn't see much of it. On the girl background, I laid the heart in the middle and attached both of them using my ATG tape runner. For the sentiment on the front, I decided to use the Create a Critter cartridge and cut out the word love from some pink and red glitter cardstock. To attach the word love, I decided to pop them up with some foam tape to give them some added dimension. Once both sentiments were attached, I folded some white cardstock in half and trimmed it down to 5 by 7, the same size as the background. To attach the background to the card base, I used some ATG adhesive. I made sure to add a ton since the cardstock got a little warped from being sprayed with the water. Also, when attaching the background, I realized I should have added the sentiment love after because it made it kind of hard to attach it, but in the end it all worked out. Following the front of the card being completed, I thought I would decorate the inside to give it a little something. I stamped the sentiment, "All you need is love." I then colored in the word love to match the one on the front of the card. To finish the card off, I stamped some hearts in the same colors of distress things used on the backgrounds of the cards. I then thought the entire card looked complete. Thanks for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. In the comments, leave below what your favorite holiday is for making cards. Also, a list of the products used for this card will be down below in the more info box.